We are live, everybody. Welcome into the RXFL Ultrabowl pregame show. We are going to kick things off with a little pregame recap of the entire season and what we got coming up for the Ultrabowl before we jump into the big game. So, just like we got Super Bowl Sunday, and it'll kick off with everyone yapping and talking all day long, we're going to hit you off here with a little RXFL pregame show, which will allow us to jump right into the game in full. So let's take a couple minutes, sit back, relax, and enjoy, and get you all set up for the hype between the St. Louis Rhinos and the Toronto Huskies. So first of all, I'll give you a look at what we got the news here. Now, the Ultra Bowl, it's going to be in Tampa. It is going to be in Tampa Bay, where it's going to be held, so that kind of stings a little bit more. The Tampa Bay Mutiny did not make it to the championship game, as they ended up losing to the eventual Ultra Bowl representatives here in the St. Louis Rhinos out of the National. Looking at some of the news, Michael Vick, of course, you guys know, awarded with the MVP trophy, the champion of the league, the best player in the league. He gets eliminated. He's out, gets knocked out by the Redwoods. Pete Carroll, Coach of the Year, also eliminated. He was coaching in the Legends Bowl there. He was coaching in the All-Star game. So a couple of stuff there. And the Defensive Player of the Year going to Khalil Mack, the Philadelphia Benjamins. We talked about some of these awards already, but I want to just give you some of the information here. And of course, you saw right there the Legends Bowl, Sean Payton talking about it, the win 31-24. Go check out the Legends Bowl. It is up right now on our Patreon page in the archive, so you can go check that out. So this is it. This is the big finale, the Ultra Bowl, and we're going to take a look at both teams' seasons. We're going to take a look at some stats and just kind of show you how big this game is. So for the St. Louis Rhinos, they come in the 5th ranked team in the league, and they are champions of the National North, going up against the 9th ranked team in the league at 10-6, champions of the American East. So number 9 versus number 10, not too bad. And a lot of the top teams all went down. You saw the Lumberjacks get beat by the Rhinos. The Armadillos eliminated. The Monarchs eliminated as well. The LA Kiss, I mean, these guys, they were the class of the league right here. They all got taken out one by one, most of them by the Redwoods there. So that is how that one plays out. So it's going to be a 10-6 squad versus an 11-5 squad. And let's see how both teams got here before we take a look at some stats, and then, like we said, kind of talk about some of the players and how big this would be not only for St. Louis, but the cities of Toronto as well. So the Huskies, people say preseason doesn't matter, but they started off fast. They started off with the 4-0 record in the preseason, knocking off guys left and right. Now, it was a slow start to the season for the Toronto Huskies, and I think that's why a lot of people didn't talk about the Huskies a lot this year. They were kind of a quiet team until the latter half of the season. We saw a lot of RG3 early on, and then when we saw Lamar Jackson get back into the mix, the team really turned it around. So they started things off, a tight, close win for the Huskies here. This is an expansion squad, by the way. And if you want to kind of see the history of the league, we've been doing kind of these leagues since ESPN 2K5, that far back. So this is technically going to be our 20th championship game, although it's the first Ultra Bowl. So we did 14 SFL championship games, which started off on 2K5. Then we eventually moved to NCAA 07, 08, and then we moved over to Madden 08 for a time before we finally moved over to All Pro Football 2K8, where we did the 5 most recent leagues, and then we did the RXFL here in Madden. So if you want to see the history, all the scores, all the past champions, all the stats from the 2K5 era, it's up on our Patreon page. You see it scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Go check that out. It is up there. You can see the 14 championships of the SFL era. You can see the 5 championships in the Revolution Pro era, and then this new era, the RXFL. But I'm counting it as a continuation, even though it's kind of been different leagues in different iterations. And that's how long I've been doing this. It took 2 years to get this season over. We're going to make our announcement during the Ultra Bowl on how we're going to handle Season 2. It's hopefully not going to take 2 years, but we've done 20 seasons since 2K5. So you can imagine the amount of time it takes to do these seasons. And gosh, I guess I've really been pumping them out for almost 20 years now, right? That's kind of crazy to think about that how long that, we've been rolling with those. So anyways, back to the Huskies here. Started off with a tight win against North Florida, and they were road warriors to begin. Had the beat down by the Elks. That was one of the ones that we streamed for you guys. You can see Played right there. And Played is going to be the games that we showed you guys. So that kind of shows you where early on the Huskies weren't even thought over. They did get the wins there. They beat the New England Nightmare and then got a tight win over Dublin. Then they kind of went down here. A lot of close games, as you see, as they took the loss to the Shamrocks at home. They lost to Oklahoma City, which was a tough team all year long, and then losing to the Aftershock. So they hit the bye week here, and then again, here's kind of where they started to lose. Again, this game was on Patreon, so you can go check that out if you want to see that, 16-13. And then they lost to the Lumberjacks, blown out by the Lumberjacks, which most people were, and then a loss to the Monarchs. So at this point in the season, you're looking at their record, and the Huskies coming into this one with 5 losses and 5 wins. So they're 5-5. So they're floating around 500. So to begin the year, they're sitting at 3-3. They get 2 wins, 2 losses. So now they're sitting at 500, and that's where people are kind of looking at them like, is this team for real? Is this what? Then they started to turn it around after that loss there. This is where the team really got it together, and we saw a brand new Huskies squad, even still finding their way after the bye week. But right here, this is where we started to see it. 42-14 against a playoff team in the LA Kiss. Then another tight win here. We streamed this one with you. You guys can check it out in the archives. Blowing out the San Francisco Demons, putting 52 on the board. Close loss here to the Shamrocks, but then finishing out with the quarterback duel for the ages, 51 points, and then 35 against the Nightmare. So you see the big scores, 35, 51, 30, 52, 42 that they were putting on the board here down the stretch. So it was 5-5, and then it was really this back stretch where they went 5-1 to eventually get into the postseason. And you guys know how the postseason went. They've been pretty dominant, and you look at those scores. I mean, they had a lot of tight games all season long, did the Huskies, but you see some of the blowouts here, even in the blowouts, or the high-scoring games, they had some tight contests, but the postseason has been domination. Look at the defense, 17, 12, and 17 points, while the offense put up 41, 33, and 52. My goodness, super impressive, just getting better in these 2 games here against 2 top-rated teams. So that's kind of your look at the Huskies. Now on the other side of things, it is going to be the St. Louis Rhinos. So we moved the Vikings, as you can see, they're the Vikings, over to St. Louis. They also went undefeated in the preseason, and we took the name the Rhinos after the 2K8. If you guys play All Pro Football 2K8, there's a St. Louis Rhinos team there, and that's a team we played with for a number of years, and they've gone to the playoffs for a number of years. So this has been a very successful franchise. Again, you can check out in the archives, as the Chicago White Sox are just firing people left and right now, but you can check out those scores in the archives. But the St. Louis Rhinos, the horn, kind of the Rhino's horn. I know it says Vikings. You got to use your imagination because we don't have that ability in Madden. You guys know that. So St. Louis Rhinos, it's another team. We did not see a St. Louis Rhinos game until week 12. Is that right? Did we not play any games before that? I guess so. Week 12, I suppose, was the first time. No, I think we played this game, right? I think it was a little sooner than that. I'll have to look and see, because I feel like we played this game, even though it says we didn't. But we didn't get talking about the the Rhinos till later on, and you kind of see it's the same thing. Through the first 8 weeks of the season, the Rhinos, now they started off hot. You see they lost to the Wolverines, but Wolverines started off 9-0, hot start. Then these wins for teams that you saw how they ended up. Easy wins for the Wizards, the Oilers, and North Florida. Hit that early bye week, and then they take 3 losses in a row. A bad loss to the Egyptians, an understandable loss to the Armadillos, and a bad loss to the Marshals. So after the bye week, you're looking at this team in a division that had Mexico City, in a division that had the Wolverines that were 9-0. I don't think anybody thought, as we went into week 9 and the Chicago Wolverines were 9-0 and the St. Louis Rhinos were sitting here at 4-3, or 3-4 rather. You're looking at this team at 3-4, and the Wolverines are 9-0. I don't think anybody could predicted at the halfway point of the season that the St. Louis Rhinos would end up being the division champions, while the Chicago Wolverines would end up finishing in a wild card position. Can't be fathomed, but that's exactly what happened. The 9-0 team was the wild card, and this team that was 3-4 ended up winning the division. This is where they really started turning around. They would only lose 1 game after week 9 here. They blew out the Cougars, edged out Tom Brady and the Dirty Birds. High-scoring battle with the Golden Eagles. Gosh, I'm almost 100% sure we played that game. Then the Monday night game. You know what? I got it right here. Let's look it up. I'm going to look it up right now in the archives, because I'm pretty sure that we did that game. So playlist, RXFL. We're doing it live. This is the kickoff show. And most offensive first half. Yeah, we did do that game against the Golden Eagles. So I don't know why it's not showing up as played. And then we did the Monday night game against the Voyagers. So this is, I think, the first time we saw them. So it was like they were one of the last teams, the Rhinos, that we actually had seen on the channel. So it was deep down. And that's when the win streak started again. Edged out Brady, the duel with Mexico City, blowing out the Houston Voyagers, edging out Randall Cunningham and the San Francisco Demons. Then they come in, they take a loss here. They on the road against the Cougars. That was kind of an interesting loss. But then the victory, a low-scoring battle against the Chicago Wolverines. They slip by the division champion Tampa Bay Mutiny. And then another victory here against Mexico City down the stretch. So after a very, very slow start to the season, and it was essentially this little streak here that kind of messed them up. Other than that, they were pretty hot through the first 4 weeks, and then they were extremely hot from week 9 all the way down, and then into the postseason, a bye week. They got past the Mutiny, and then they beat the Lumberjacks here, and they find themselves into the postseason. So something's got to give. Husky defense against this offense. So now we're going to kind of wrap things up by just taking a look at the stats and then talking about the importance of this game to the two cities. So we're going to start with the Toronto Huskies, and I guess we should go, I don't know, team stats. We should just go individually. Maybe we can just look at the rankings here, and you can see where 31st in the league, but Lamar Jackson did split time with Robert Griffin III, and you're looking at, kind of stats. They're not even tops in the league. You're seeing guys that are 15th, 7th, so they're kind of, but they're a team that they're a great team. They don't have the individual. So you see RG3 and Lamar Jackson split the time. And can we get like a breakdown of like game by game? Is that possible? A game by game breakdown. Because I don't remember. I feel like he was hurt, but maybe not. Do they not give us... Someone let me know in the chat. Is there a game-by-game breakdown? It does not look like that there is. So I don't know if there's... And if there is a way, let me know. We'll certainly do it. Hit me up and let me know. But it was... For some reason, I thought there was, but maybe there's not. There's not like a... And this is the player card, so I don't know anywhere else that I would look. Stats and contract, that's kind of where we just were, right? Trades, awards. Oh, season stats. Here we go. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, so we can... Now, where does it... So, he was not... I thought he had gotten injured, and maybe he did... Maybe he did in the preseason, but Lamar Jackson was not the starter through the beginning of the season here, and that's where we had RG3. Even though Jackson was higher rated, I feel like he was injured. And I've gone back and watched that week 2 game that we streamed, and I'm not sure if he was injured or not, but he didn't play through the first couple of weeks. And then it was a slow start once he did get out there. And you can see here his first in-game action here, 9 of 19, 5 interceptions. It was not good. But then after that, started to pick it up. Now, this again, not big numbers here, but 11 of 16. And then this is where the Lamar Jackson show takes off. As you can see, the completion percentage here, the touchdown pass, then 2 touchdowns again. Where's our yard? Yeah, right there. 204, 255, 168, 343. I think another injury happened here, and you can just see where the numbers really started to pile up for Lamar. So it was a bit of a slow start, as you can see, but then I'd say once you get here past the interceptions, you're looking at pretty much rolling through, being pretty dominant, and then rushing. You can't overlook the rushing attack of Lamar Jackson and just the number of touchdowns that he has put up just rushing the football. So we'll do that for Jim Kelly, but we're not going to break down every single QB. But RG3, Lamar Jackson splitting the time, but it's mostly been RG3. So the importance of this game for Lamar Jackson to... In this Ultra Bowl full of legends here, he has the opportunity to be the champion. This is the league full of legendary players, and Lamar Jackson can cement his legacy with the victory here. Rushing attack, it was Alvin Kamara. This is someone that spent his career, he looks very sleepy in that photo, with the Saints and has not tasted an opportunity at a championship. This is his shot. 1,000 yards rushing, 12 touchdowns on the year. There you see Lamar with the 8 touchdowns, 600 as well. Billy Sims, his career cut short as well, hoping to taste championship gold for the first time. Receiving-wise, Anquan Boldin, he's been there. He's the guy that everyone's looking to. He's been there with the Cardinals, the Ravens, the 49ers. He's tasted gold before. 1,000 yards receiving, 10 touchdowns. You got Bolitnikov, a long-time legendary player. He played with the rough and tough guys from back in the day. 704, 10 touchdowns. Those have been the guys, Bolitnikov and Anquan Bold. Then you got Tasker, you got Hakeem Nicks as well in the mix. And then defensive-wise, let's break this down by sacks here. And you got Deacon Jones, the Deacon, 14 sacks. Also, you got on this team Randy White. My goodness, the 5 sacks that he came in here as well. Willie McGinnis, he's got a lot of championship experience with the Patriots. Clyde Simmons as well. So it's a pretty rough and tough. Deacon Jones, did he win? He was with those, let me look. Let me see. Deacon Jones, did he win any championships? Because he was with those Rams teams. But... Rams, Chargers, and Washington. So no. So for Deacon, who's a 5-time sack leader in the NFL, a chance for his first opportunity to get a title. So a lot of guys on this Husky team. Now you got Willie McGinnis and you got Anquan Boldin that have gotten that taste of championship before. You got a lot of hungry guys that are looking for their first. 6 INTs for the linebacker, CJ Mosley, forget about it, and 5 for Everson Walls. And then, of course, George Blanda, come on, old school. Did he win any titles? I know, let's see. George Blanda. He was with the Raiders for a number of years, was he not? And then he won 3 AFL championships. So he's got some, but he has not won a big-time title like this. And then to wrap this up, to conclude it here, we are going to look at the St. Louis Rhinos. So we'll start with passing, and of course, It's Jim Kelly. Come on. Now, you guys know about Jim Kelly, or maybe you don't. I don't know. For those of you that are tuning in, let's get some season stats. Jim Kelly, he has the distinction of going to 4 consecutive Super Bowls, the only man in the history of pro football to lead his team to a championship 4 consecutive years, but losing all 4 of those games. He wants to get the monkey off his back like Steve Young. He's got the opportunity here. You look at the start, slow start to his season as well. Just through the interceptions, I mean, the yardage is there. Classic Jim Kelly. Completion percentage is there too, but 3 INTs, 2 INTs. And then it really, again, that's where we said the second half of this year is where it really starts to get going. And you can see, I mean, he's thrown 3 interceptions the second half of the year, where in the first half of the year, he was an interception machine. And then you just look at the numbers here. I mean, 557, come on. That was close. That was close to the NFL record, but Elway got that early on. But that was an insane game. And has not come close to that 500 mark again, but always in that 300, 200 mark. Jim Kelly, can he finally get it done and win that championship? Tony Romo as well, looking for his first taste of gold. While he's not the starter and he's only at 10 yards passing, he would love to get a ring as well. But it's either Lamar Jackson looking to cement his legacy or Jim Kelly looking to finally get that first title. On the other end, Eric Dickerson, 1,400 yards, rounded up and say 1,500. That's another guy. Fantastic NFL career, never won a championship. He's got the shot as well as Bill's teammate, Thurman Thomas, also wants to win a championship here. Thomas and Dickerson. Now on the other side, I mean, my goodness, it's a who's who, this receiving core. Calvin Johnson and Megatron, another guy, one of the maybe greatest receivers in NFL history, never won a championship, has that opportunity here. Odell Beckham Jr., technically has won a championship with the Los Angeles Rams, played in a Super Bowl, but he got hurt. He's always talked about, go listen to Odell, even what he said this year. Odell has always felt like his legacy has kind of a mark against it because he got hurt in that Super Bowl. He's got the ring, he is a champion, but he feels like he didn't get to contribute. Go listen to any Odell interview. He said that. He's got an opportunity to contribute here with the St. Louis Rhinos. Then you got Austin Hooper. He's a young guy in his career. He's looking to get things done. Kyle Rudolph as well. I mean, it's like I said, these are your main guys. And you got Andre. Did Andre Rison? Let's see. I don't remember if he ever. I got to look these guys up. I'm supposed to be TB Sports. Did he ever win a title? He played. He did. He was on the Packers when they won their Super Bowl, and he won a Grey Cup. Okay, so he has gotten it before. He was, oh my God, what a career! 1 year with the Colts, 5 years with the Falcons, 1 year with the Browns, 1 year with the Jags, 1 year with the Packers, 3 years with the Chiefs, 1 year he bounced around. I guess he had kind of a lot of Left Eye Lopez there. Did he have personal issues, or am I putting a wrong? Or am I thinking of somebody else? Maybe not. Like, why did he bounce around so much? He went to the... Oh my, this is Andre Rison booed by the fans. We didn't make the... I can't read this. I'll get demonetized here. He cussed out the fans with the Browns. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Andre Rison got into a fight with Mark Burnell. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. And then he got claimed off waivers. Went to the Super Bowl in 3 playoff games. So he's got a championship too. He signed with the Chiefs there. So, okay. So Andre Rison does have championship to his name, so you can lean on that. So does Odell, but Odell wants to be the hero. Calvin wants his first. Dickerson wants his first. And Jim Kelly wants his as well. Defense time, you got the leaders looking here. You got Jason Taylor. That's another guy. Lifelong Dolphin, wants to taste what it's like to win a championship. Too Tall Jones, he wants to get in there. He was with those Cowboys teams for a while. Leonard Little, Harrison, he's been there before. Lambert. So you got some experience here on the defensive side of things, where it's more so those offensive guys that are looking to get things done for the first time. And then kicking, Garo Yepremian, he's been there, done that, and maybe the kickers who they're going to be asking advice for, because he was part of the undefeated 72 Miami Dolphins, and he just came off of a championship with the Atlantic City Eclipse, the team that lasted only 1 year before they moved to Brooklyn and became the Brooklyn Beats. So he's won the title just recently and several times with the Miami Dolphins. So it comes down to this, guys. That is going to do it for our kickoff show. It comes down to this: the Toronto Huskies and the St. Louis Rhinos in Tampa, heading down south. The next time we stream with you guys, the next time we upload, we are going to be into the Ultrabowl. 11-5 versus 10-6. Two teams that both had a slow start to their season, but have come on down the stretch and been on fire. Two championship teams. You have the champions of the North and the champions of the East going at it here. The Rhinos and the Huskies, the ultimate Animal Kingdom battle. We talked about all the guys. Lamar Jackson, that wants to cement his legacy. Alvin Kamara, that has not gotten that opportunity with the Saints just yet. Dickerson and Kelly and Megatron looking for their first. Odell wanting to be the big hero. And then for the cities, we got to talk about the cities. Let's talk about St. Louis for a moment. It's been more than 20 years since Kurt Warner brought them their one and only Super Bowl. They got a taste of the Super Bowl. Their team left and won a championship in LA. We've seen the fan base for the Battlehawks in the XFL. This is a team that's hungry for football. They've been supportive of the Battlehawks. They've been supportive of the Rhinos. And they're hoping for the first time in 20 plus years, they can get their second pro football championship. For the Toronto Huskies, this win, it would be turning them into Titletown. It would put Toronto on the global map, not just in Canada. The Toronto Argonauts, one of the most successful CFL teams with over 20 Grey Cups. You have the Toronto Raptors that just recently won an NBA championship, but then the Maple Leafs, who just finally got a postseason victory. They've been bad for a while. You got the Blue Jays that haven't done anything since the 90s. The Toronto Huskies have the opportunity to join the Raptors, the Argos, and make people notice Toronto. Who is going to get it done, folks? It is the Toronto Huskies and the St. Louis Rhinos. If you're watching with us live on Twitch or on Patreon, this game is coming your way next. If you're watching on YouTube, tomorrow you're going to get the first half, and then in 2 days, you'll get the second half. If you can't wait, sign up at patreon.com/tbsports27, and you can get all of these streams early and ad-free. So for now, we're going to say goodbye to you, those watching on YouTube, and come on back for the Ultrabowl over the next 2 days. It's going to be good. Huskies, Rhinos. Let's get it.